society to come and occupy the chair on the apps. No, 2 minutes. Can you switch off this next?
His career in police department as ASP Belunpalli in Hyderabad. Later he served as SP Nizamabad, SP Guntur, DCP North Zone Hyderabad, SP Special Intelligence Branch, Additional Director Anti-Corruption Bureau, DIG Karimnagar and Warangal, IGP Provisions and Logistics, Additional DGP Law and Order.
I really don't know where to begin and what exactly to convey to all of you at this juncture of my career and life. At the outset, I would like to thank Varma Garu, Prasanna Garu and Prasad Garu to have invited me here to address you guys. And wonderful community asset that they have created. ఇటువంటి ఫెసిలిటీస్ అన్నీ కూడా మా టైంలో అసలు లేదు. ఇదంతా కూడా ఇట్ వాజ్ నాట్ ద కేస్ విత్ అస్. మై ఫాదర్ వాజ్ ఇన్ ద ఎయిర్ ఫోర్స్, సో ఈ యూస్ టు బీ బిజీ ఫ్లయింగ్ ఎంఐ హెలికాప్టర్స్ మీ4 మీ8 అని ఇంతకుముందు ఉండింది. ఇప్పుడు మీ26 దాకా వెళ్ళిపోయింది అర్లియర్ దో. సో డాడ్ యూస్ టు బీ ఫ్లయింగ్ అండ్ మై మదర్ హౌస్ వైఫ్. సో దట్ ఈస్ హౌ వీ వర్ ఆల్ బ్రాట్ అవుట్. ఐఎమ్ ప్రోడక్ట్ ఆఫ్ కేంద్రీయ విద్యాలయాలు. ఇక్కడ కూడా కేంద్రీయ విద్యాలయాలు ఉన్నాయి అనుకుంటున్నాను. Yeah, so since it was all defense establishment, so we used to have only central schools, Kendriya Vidyalaya, so we were all studying there, and all across India I studied. Why I'm telling you about all this is, you should know me to know how I have climbed up the ladder of the civil services. That is the best way to talk, because I can speak with conviction rather than giving some mantras and telling about the routine stuff of hard work and avi ani maatladakunda. That is the reason why we projected that video also. I mean, where I come from and what I am, and how the civil service again has given me the opportunity to work internationally in the United Nations. I was the Indian contingent commander there, and various other platforms that I have worked. Otherwise, it won't be opportunities raw. So those people who are aspiring to be civil servants, those of you who are aspiring to be civil servants in various capacities. I joined a small subdivision. Subdivision ante RDO level, couple of circles or a few police stations make a subdivision. So akkada nunchi now ee sthai daka ikkada daka vachinamu. So it is all in the interest of public service. So aptitude ఉన్న వాళ్ళు, one thing is self-assessment. So all of us must assess ourselves, whether you have that capability or not, whether you will be able to really succeed or not, and what has brought a particular person to that level of competence, So that is the reason we projected this video, to know where my education and how I did. Being a topper in all the schools, of course it does matter, I mean, as regards the academics part of it. So in my case, of course, with all the school days, bagane chadukunamu, and we were exposed to multiple cultures all across India, because father was posted in various places, right from northeast Assam, Nagaland, and Jammu Kashmir, and Chandigarh, and Kanpur, and Bangalore, and finally, of course, I did my MBBS from Jipma, Pondicherry. So even across India, we have traveled far and wide and exposed to all the cultures. So having been brought up in a multicultural environment, so is the case with Vizag also. Here you have people from all across. All the people are settled here. Why I am telling you all this is because that gives a particular individual a perspective of understanding of various issues, and idanni kuda manaku paniki vastadi. Andike cheptunnanu, rather than being limited to a particular city or a town and things like that. So that also has its disadvantages for person aspiring to be a civil servant. So meerandaru, that is what I learned, that are all using this community asset, wonderful community asset with such good library books and environment. అది కూడా చాలా ఇంపార్టెంట్. అంటే అందరూ కలిసి ఒక చోట ఉండి డిస్కస్ చేసుకోవడం, మాట్లాడుకోవడం, డిఫరెంట్ ఎగ్జామ్స్. సమ్ వర్ టెలింగ్ they were into staff selection commission, others are appearing for teacher selection, some of them are for railways, and of course some for the civil services. Civil services in the sense the IAS, IPS groups, they are also there, apart from the state level group 1 services. వీళ్ళందరూ కూడా ఇంత మంచి కమ్యూనిటీ అసెట్ ఉండటం ఇట్ ఈస్ సంథింగ్ గ్రేట్ బికాస్ ఇంటరాక్షన్ వల్ల కూడా you tend to learn a lot if you are interacting with each other on various topics apart from the your subject or the optional that you have taken. నాకు వచ్చేటప్పటికి those days it used to be we used to have 2 optionals. So selection of a subject is very important. The optional but it's very important what subject you are taking. You all have assessed, I am sure, already seeing the trend, how it is, how the toppers or the guys who have qualified are selecting the subjects. Adi sariga select cheyakapothe it can be very, very difficult. You will tumble, get up, again tumble, again get up. There are cases like this. If you analyze the qualifiers in the civil services exam, there are people, it is a huge, apart from your strategy, planning, implementation and hard work, strategy, planning, implementation and hard work, element of luck is also very important. It has played. I'll tell you my story, how luck also plays a lot. Luck, but of course luck favors the brave and the hard workers who are very hard working. That also is very important. In my case, selection of the subjects was also very important. Nagu cheppevallu evaru leru, nothing great. We are the first time civil servants. I told you my father was in the Air Force, my brother's in the Navy, he is a commodore in the Indian Navy, posted here only. Maaku chuttupakka anta kuda emi Navy officers, Army officers, Air Force officers. So my aspirations anni kuda ela em untundi. You know, you look up to only those officers and think that okay, this is the end of life, and because the campus is very small and we are all inside the campus, it is a very self-sufficient campus kabatti akkade undatam and bayata lokam kuda peddaga teladu endukante school ku veladam raavadam playing some games and all that, and that is how we were brought up. And of course education was important and dad used to be very strict and things like that, but the subject selection is very, very important. I was doing medicine. I wrote PG entrance. My first subject of choice was radiology. There was only 1 seat and somebody knocked away that 1 seat. He was from All India Institute of Medical Science, so he took away the seat. I was left with no seat, and that was the first time a shocker came in my career. I mean all along I've been among the top 3 students in all the classes right from 1st to 12th, and then ee vidhanga seat dorakapovam valla then I was wondering what to do, because all my batchmates were writing PLAB and USMLE, and many of them 80% of them left the country for better shores to UK, US and things like that. So time low I happened to bump into one of the seniors in MBBS from Japan itself. You all must be knowing Dr. Ajay. He is now the Congress spokesperson. He resigned from the IPS and then later joined the politics as MP from Jharkhand, and now presently he is the Congress spokesperson. He was the head of Apollo groups and all that for the entire country and things like that. So he happened to tell me, yes Ravi, you should be able to do it, don't feel rejected. You didn't get a PG seat, God always opens another door when he closes one door. So ఈ విధంగా చెప్తూ నాకు చెప్పిన తర్వాత he asked me to focus on the selection of the subject, because that is very important. We used to have 2 optionals those days. So 2 options చదువుకోవాలా. ఇప్పుడు మెడిసిన్ మొత్తం మళ్ళీ చదవాలా, మళ్ళీ రాయాలంటే it is Herculean task. You know how the subjects is very vast, medicine. So I took up public administration and zoology. You all must be wondering why I took public administration and zoology. Public administration because it helps in general studies, the subjects, and you are planning to enter into administration. So that was one of the reasons I selected public administration. General studies lo kuda adu paniki vastadi kabatti I took up public administration and read totally afresh. Emi teladu dani gurinchi. So I picked up public administration as one of the options. The other option I selected consciously was zoology. Because zoology, why I selected zoology? Because vertebrates గురించి, vertebrates and invertebrates, zoology లో ఇంకా ఏముంది? ఇవి రెండే కదా. So zoology and invertebrates I have to learn, but vertebrates, you know everything, because of we in medicine we learn anatomy, physiology, biochemistry, ఈ subjects అన్నీ ఉంటాయి. We definitely have very good knowledge about the various systems there in vertebrates. So ఆ విధంగా జువాలజీ తీసుకోవడం జరిగింది. So both the subjects I scored very well, and the study material and all that, we didn't have something like this, but I went to JNU and then picked up the books from there. Somebody showed me the black market where you get all this stuff. So I went and picked up those books, because the medicine చదువుతున్నప్పుడు ఏం తెలియదు, ఈ విషయాల గురించి అసలు తెలియదు, because I am a totally new entrant, and didn't get a radiology seat and trying to embark on civil services was a totally different ball game altogether. So ఈ విధంగా ఈ రెండు సబ్జెక్ట్స్ తీసుకున్నాను, and of course I was good at quizzing and debate, so that has been there right from beginning. From 5th class onwards I used to be a good avid quizzer, and debates, elocutions and all that I used to be taking part, so that helped me a lot. So ఇవి అన్ని కూడా important. In case some of you are still into it, it is really good, and keep building on it. So subject selection is very important. Now coming to, once you have selected the subject, supposing you are actually a math, in that case you will have to really think about it, in the sense like I have done medicine, but I took up zoology and public administration. Now you have only one option to cover. So ఇటువంటి సందర్భాల్లో, ఇటువంటి దీంట్లో what you have to do is you have to think about, one is people always think about high scoring subject, ఏదైతే high scoring అని వస్తుందో people all opt for that. But I tell you, it is not that everybody will be able to score very high in that particular subject. So subject selection is very, very important. So once you select the subject, you have to go for the right books, the right professor or the right guide or somebody like that. Or if no guide also, you have now various resources available on internet. So many things are there, tutors, classes, all these things are there. So those days it was not there. We just had to blindly bank on only books and the study materials available in and around Delhi. So that is how I got all those books and then attempted the exam. So you guys have very vast amount of resources now available at your beck and call. So select the right material, right books, and then once this is done, subject you have finalized, the second part is about the general studies. So general studies, it's a huge chunk in your whole evaluation. So daniki, those days we used to get a lot of general study related material, apart from of course reading editorials from Hindu and Hindustan Times. These were the two papers I regularly followed, made notes, and our paper cuttings అన్ని కూడా పెద్ద ఒక రిజిస్టర్లో every day, because the open page, the editorial columns ఉన్న articles అన్ని కూడా, because they're all very well researched, Hindu and Hindustan Times. Hindustan Times covers Delhi-centric and government-centric issues. Hindu, because it is south-based kabatti, ikkada they have a very high intellectual value in the Hindu articles and editorials. So